My parents think I'm the perfect daughter heading to Yale, but I've been sneaking out to see a man twice their age who was also my first kiss, and my first time, and now I'm stuck wondering if I should lie about our FWB situationship or finally tell them the truth. Posted by you/olda teen. I, 18F, have been dating my boyfriend, 44M, for the past 2 months. He was my first kiss, and he took my V card. I've been telling my parents I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm actually seeing him. They have some suspicions that I have a boyfriend, but probably not that I'm in a relationship with a significant age gap. I'm not expecting a lot from this relationship. I just like older men, and it's more of a friends with benefits situation than a serious long-term relationship. For more context, I currently live with my parents, and I'll be headed to an Ivy League school, Yale, in the fall. I've always been a good student and a well-rounded daughter. This is to say my parents trust most of my judgment and decisions. I'm running out of excuses to use to see him, especially for overnight stays and vacations. I want to come clean about him, but I fear some backlash, even though my parents are a decade older than him. Should I just tell them I have a boyfriend but lie about his age, or just keep my head down until I move out, or just tell them the complete truth? I'm scared of them not letting me see him anymore. I've gotten slightly attached, and I really enjoy how he makes me feel. My parents and I already have a difficult relationship, so I keep a lot of secrets. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Consider who you might be in 26 years, what you'll likely have seen, experienced, hated, loved, hurt, and been hurt by. With all that under your belt, would you honestly be able to relate to an individual who hasn't experienced any of it? Would you feel truly connected? Or do you think that maybe those years would have turned you jaded toward the world, and seeking out innocence and naivety was an outlet to either escape the harshness of what you lived or a way to try to protect an innocent from what you lived through? Try to understand what they went through that brought them to a place where they felt entitled to take the V card of a youth, to be the formative relationship of that individual, and to risk ruining all future relationships for them at such a young age just because of their own desires. The most mature thing they could have done was to not pursue you, but here you are. Keep your walls up, and do your investigations. The moment you discover the root of their motivation or the crux of their immaturity will be the moment you can truly know who they are, and I really doubt you'll like it. We all want to be desired, but it's more important to be desired by someone who has authentic and honest intent, not just out of necessity or as a coping mechanism. Meet some of their longtime friends and have candid conversations when their guarded narrative is down. Reassess your worth in their eyes. If their true intent is to give you as many opportunities as possible from the earliest age they could, they probably should have had a child and nurtured it from birth. But who knows? Just enter into what you're already deep into with rose-colored glasses, but take them off at moments to make sure you still have 20/20 vision. Just because someone else has regrets doesn't mean you have to as well. Commenter 2. I really like the way you worded this. I've been crying this whole day. The comments in this thread really made me take a long look at myself, and I'm really disgusted at all the things I've done. I should have been more proactive about therapy. I shouldn't have done these dumb things when I knew better. I should, but I don't. I'm just scared of the world. I don't have a lot of people to turn to for help. It was the perfect storm of loneliness and desperation, and a lot of stress from college decisions, which I thought would make me really happy, but the highs are high and the lows are really low. I'm really disappointed in myself. I don't know how to not hate what I've done. Commenter 3. Psychologist here. Don't beat yourself up. You are an incredibly intelligent woman, Yale. That doesn't mean you're emotionally intelligent and wise beyond your years. Falling for an older man is exactly what any 18-year-old would do. You have a right to be your age. Chalk this up to a life lesson. It will hurt for a while. Breakups are tough. You will know so much more the next time around, and you'll be able to empathize with other people who fall for it. That's an incredibly valuable experience. Welcome to New Haven, I'm here too, and enjoy your young adult years. Commenter 4. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. You've gotten plenty of responses, and I think you can very easily see the common trend among the answers here. Mostly, I'm locking this to spare your feelings further. While I understand the feelings behind many responses here, I think many of them have forgotten that making you, the person seeking help and advice, feel bad is absolutely not something that should ever be happening on this subreddit, not ever, never, never, never. And for that, I do sincerely apologize. All that being said, I will leave you with my own advice. Age-disparate relationships aren't necessarily bad, it's just that they usually are. Sure, yours might be the one in a million that actually works, but those are some pretty big odds stacked against you. I encourage you to take the responses you got here and think on them, long and hard. Many of the responses were indeed sincere and have your best interests in mind. No matter what, you should do what is best for you and not for others. However, as a general rule, if you feel like you have to hide something from people, there's usually a reason you feel that way. Take good care of yourself, And I hope you'll come back here if you need support again. Hopefully next time, the Witch Burning Brigade will remember that you're not the witch. Update, 1 week later. I wanted to do an update on my last post. I'm very grateful for everyone who shared their wisdom with me. I did not know how an internet community could change my life and mindset in such a large way. I broke up with him a few days ago, and I have cut him off from my life, forever, permanently. I'm restarting cognitive behavioral therapy with my past therapist, who I really connected with. Each session is quite expensive, and it has motivated me to cut spending on clothes and makeup, but I think it'll be a small price to pay in the big picture. I'm going to pursue healthy relationships once I'm ready for them. Maybe I'll find a cute guy at Yale who can handle this storm. Thank you again, Internet family, for saving me a lot of grief and trauma. I was luckily able to make a smooth exit from an imbalanced dynamic. My eyes were open to how I glazed over the issues, gaslighting, and love bombing. It's going to be the summer of love, self-love. Relevant comment. Commenter. Hey there. I'm going to give you links to free PDFs of Why Does He Do That? And The Gift of Fear, which are both easy, accessible reads that are total lifesavers and game changers. They'll help you develop more skill and confidence in sussing out people who aren't good for you, so you can populate your life just with people who are. Good on you for making a judgment call and getting some professional support. You've got this. Stay safe. Update 2, 6 months later. It's the 18-year-old Yale undergrad who dated a middle-aged man half a year ago. More context here. I now realize just how troubling the entire situation was. My time at Yale has been really good, to say the least. Adjusting to East Coast weather was a change, but I've formed a solid, supportive friend group here, and my baseline happiness is the highest it's been in years. Basically, college is great, and I'm excited for the upcoming years. As I'm maturing and gaining more life experience, I'm looking back on my past decisions with a sort of sympathy and wistfulness. I didn't know anything, and I still don't, but I was at a really vulnerable phase in my life, spending time with men who cared much more about satisfying their self-interest than protecting my well-being. I can recognize this now after immersing myself with peers who genuinely care for me and look out for my best interests. People who don't just say they want the best for me, but actively push me toward living my healthiest, best life. In truth, when I first posted about my much older boyfriend, I didn't fully understand the intentions and meanings behind the comments I received. I was defensive and convinced that I had power in the situation and would be perceptive enough to move on when it came to an inevitable end. What I failed to realize was that my heart was still young and hopeful, and that I would make excuses to justify an older partner's hurtful actions toward me. Issues can occur in any relationship, but in a 20-plus year age gap dynamic, it's too easy to place the blame on yourself, assuming the older party knows better and will act better. It was me who said the wrong thing, me who didn't show the right care, me who wasn't good enough to not be discarded after he had his fun. I was, and still am, young and sweet. I thought I chose to see the best in people and was a better person for that, but in doing so, I neglected my own wants and needs. The men who saw this weaponized my kindness and patience. They saw an easy opportunity to smash with me and use up my emotional energy for their benefit, and I told myself that it felt good to be useful, and I wanted to provide that for them. Maybe it did in the moment, but it comes crashing down when you realize their true intentions and how little you mean to them when you thought you meant a lot. It is difficult to be a girl, and I am often a lonely and insecure girl still working on healing myself. I didn't want to believe that someone who held me, kissed me, and said he wanted everything good for me could view my innocence and trust as a path to access my body and company. It is twisted, and I don't blame the younger me who fell for such traps. I wanted to be cherished and loved, and I didn't know the right place to look or have people to direct me to something more sustainable and healthy. The sheer humanity shown toward me during that period of my life keeps me hopeful. I was a lost child, unsure of what to do or what was right. I had little guidance, and I sought that in people I believed I could trust and confide in. I'm very thankful for this community and how it changed my life. I have new things and experiences to look forward to every day, and love and loss may enter that process, but the guarantee I know now is love for myself. Final comments. Commenter 1. I remember your post and seeing the comments and your response. I was at the time trying to think of what I could say to get through to you, but honestly, I couldn't think of anything. So, what do you think could have gotten through to you now, looking back? That's a great question. I'm not sure. When you're young, you're hopeful and believe you're the exception. Warnings sound superficial until you actually grow to be perceptive enough to realize their weight. I guess the best response would be a non-judgmental push in a healthier direction. I did not have a healthy relationship with myself and my appearance. My relationship to myself is worlds better now, and that has bled into my romantic pursuits. It's all connected.